Outstanding.
Okay, so we gave you the goals, sent those out to you. I maintained the first goal from last year. I just feel like it's still it's just important. I just need to keep it on the top of my list all the time, keeping that communication open with all the districts and stuff. And I think I really need to focus this year on Paisley and North Lake, because I have not done as well as I'd like with my interactions with them. It's just, it's hard, they're so far away, so I want to really kind of focus on them. So nothing's really changed there than from last year. Goal number 2 is our new Student Success Act, and I don't even understand it yet. I gave you guys some information in there and stuff, and so I've got to figure it out. I've got to help them figure it out. District 7 is actually doing pretty good. They've got their needs assessment done.
Oh, wow.
But they paid somebody to come in and do that. So you found out they have a whole lot of needs. So anyway, so helping everybody with that, and I'm gonna have to, I'll end up having to do Adele's, and then we'll end up having to do Plush. I'll probably have to assist with that, but we all have to do a consolidated improvement plan for this next year. And
Do we have to do one?
I do not believe so. I do not believe so,
Okay.
because the consolidated improvement plan is being used to leverage the funds that were put forth in the legislature. And so we as ESDs were given part of those funds, but we're distributing them in a different way. And that was the REN information that I have in there, that we'll talk about in a little bit. So, and then the third goal that I have is just continuing. I don't know what I'm going to do. Vicky needs to quit thinking she's retiring, because she was my right arm when it came to the early learning code.
Boy,
Yeah.
she
And
understood that
yeah, better than I do.
better
but-
than the population
Yeah,
does.
so I said, I gotta leave it as a goal, because I don't understand it all yet. I've got it, in fact, I've got it scheduled to, they have their regional meetings, and so I have to go to Medford for those. It just really excites me to have to go to those meetings that I don't understand very well and spend 3 hours.
And I guess they're kind of,
Yeah, oh yeah, that's an understatement, yeah. It's-
Well, it is
Yeah.
good when we have the ESD budget meetings and all the superintendents are there, that they're on board. And
Yeah.
obviously, communications have been good and they agree.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at with that, and I'm open to comments or changes or anything else you folks may want, so.
I'm glad to see the survey, review and revise the survey.
I did it last year, and it's
Yeah.
still not there. I thought, okay, this is gonna be, no,
Yeah.
no.
And it's no, I mean, it's not a reflection on us, I don't think.
It's not, no. I just haven't, I gotta, because I've got history. So I've gotta get past the history and have
Yeah.
that group understand that this is not their district we're talking about,
Right.
but it's us. And also, they just because they don't interact with us, because we don't interact with all the teachers. I mean, I try to, I get out there, that kind of stuff, but don't complain about something that you have no,
Yeah.
you're a teacher and you don't interact with the SLP, so don't give them a bad rating.
Do you ever go to their, I don't know what,
The
like.
staff meetings and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I
At
went,
the beginning of the year?
Yeah, we just went last week, or Monday, we were at their morning breakfast, and
Yeah.
I stood up and introduced everybody and all of our new employees and stuff like
Good,
that. And so
okay.
everybody knows who we are.
Because I know every once in a while I'll ask, what about this, and they don't
Mhm.
know that those are there and available. And so communication obviously is breaking down somewhere.
Yeah, Yeah, well, I've had people tell me that they had no idea that there was a mentor program, and
Yeah.
I'm like, how can you not
Yeah.
know that?
I mean, I don't mind if they don't know we pay for the music, but like the Khajiit things, the, you know, that wasn't known,
Yeah,
that it was even available.
yeah.
And Jack,
That's part of the technology person, they need to get that out there, that those are available to people.
Yeah.
if you go to that introductory meeting, you might wanna say something like, if you don't interact with SLPs, don't mark them down, it's,
Right. Yeah.
I don't know how to get around that.
Well, you know what I'm thinking about doing is, I think next year is, because it's really just the one district where it's an issue. What I'm thinking about doing is getting on to their staff meetings right before I say, okay, you know, next week I'm gonna release the survey and exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know, just leave it blank. If you don't have interaction with that person, just leave it blank.
Yeah.
But I want to get people's input that do have interactions with them.
Well, you know, are they thinking that, oh, this person's supposed to be doing something, it's not, so,
I've never
What's
heard
wrong
of
with
this.
Yeah, I've never heard from, yeah.
they never got hold of me, they must
Yeah.
not be doing their job.
Yeah,
Right.
well, you have no children in your room with speech issues. Yeah. So,
I mean, it's pretty easy to sort through. I don't even ever feel like what it brought to mind was that maybe they don't know everything we have.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm sure of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
so that's kind of discouraging. And I don't know where, I don't think it's us putting it out there, I think it's the next step. Who's
Yeah.
supposed to share it?
Disseminate that information.
Yes, so,
A
Yeah.
poster in the staff lounge. Sarah, can you get on that?
Yeah. And that might not be a bad idea. I mean, just
Actually-
creating a poster of, these are the things the ESD is doing for you.
Guess who's doing
And just,
this?
you know, and put it in
Yeah,
a,
well, every district gets that every year. that
12 by
what you
16
can do
poster
for
and
them, do it for
put
everybody.
it in their staff room and, yeah.
I mean, and worded in not a lot of words.
Right, just as I say, this is what the ESD is doing for you and bullet,
Yeah,
bullet, bullet,
here's what's
bullet.
available to help.
Yeah,
you
this is what's available for your needs.
in case
Yeah.
it's, you know, we're sharing it and it's not getting to, because it's the teachers that need to know about it.
Right.
If they've got kids that need internet and we have devices, but they don't know about them. So,
Yep. So that's that, and then, what was the other one? Second one. Oh, policies.
Policy.
Well, this is not part of the regular board meeting. The first one there, the AC, is non-discrimination. You know,
is it required or what?
it's required, yeah.
These are required changes.
Yeah, these are the required ones. So, nothing, you know,
Same old, same
same old, yep. So, there just was a change in the ORS, so.
You have 10 days to react.
Yeah, and now the AR, okay, and there's two here. And you see that the lighter one is the new one and the darker one is the old one. Now, is what our current policy is. And the ARs, those are administrative rules. So those don't have to be, you know, the OSBA provides them for us, but we don't have to accept those or necessarily follow what they do. And so my suggestion is that we do not adopt the ACAR, that we keep and we just re-adopt our current ACAR. Because our steps and stuff are perfectly fine. They're not nearly as convoluted as the new one is. I like our complaint form. It's, you know, it's just simple. I think what we may have to do is we may have to add, well, they have types of discrimination and they have a whole bunch of new ones.
Oh, there's a
We
lot.
may have to add those in. Beyond that, I think,
Jack,
keep it simple.
the one thing I had a comment on was, in the formal procedures, step 1, the immediate supervisor has, kind of handles the complaint. I kind of felt that in there somewhere, on what they need to do should be somewhere, inform the superintendent.
Well, there's step 2 is where
Yeah.
it comes to the superintendent, and so you have to be careful because you can't bias the superintendent by giving them prior information.
I see.
Okay.
Because what if they're the one that's,
Well,
I
then
see.
it is,
Okay.
then you're basically, you're starting at step 2 at that point. Yeah, if somebody came directly to me and that thing, but, if, and we really, I mean, I guess a good example would be our early childhood. Mike has an assistant with his program, so he could, she could complain to him, and he could look through that. But everything is most likely gonna come to my desk. Because I'm the immediate supervisor of pretty much everybody. I mean, I do all the evaluations, so.
But you're bumping up against federal law and with discrimination and without informing the superintendent,
Yeah,
the person at that level may muck it up real bad.
well, that's true, yeah.
Uh,
We could change that and be filed with the superintendent.
Just kind of a, hey, did you know? And then on step 2 and step 1, depending when this happens, and because you don't have an assistant superintendent, 10 business days might be a little tough. I mean, if
Yeah.
it hits in the middle of the summer, you're on vacation, unless somebody is giving jurisdiction or ability to act on your
But
behalf.
I mean, and even in the summer, typically I'm not gone for more than 5 days. I'll be back in town and stuff.
But you might.
But I might, I
Yeah,
could be,
you
yeah,
might,
yeah.
you might be looking for a good beer in Europe.
Yeah.
I like where you're going with that. We could,
I don't know if the 10 business days is written into law somewhere.
That's what I was wondering.
well, it's in the
It's
new
the same
policy
here.
too.
Well, this one talks about school days, and this one says business days, so I did wonder if there was a change in,
Well, because our business days are different than the school days.
yeah.
So our 4 days a week
During
in
the
the
summer.
summertime, you go 2.5 weeks almost before you had to.
Right.
Actually, we'd go 2.5.
And we
Yeah.
close down during Christmas pretty much.
Right,
Yeah, so that would.
That
not
wouldn't
be-
count in those 10 days. And
no.
spring break, you guys don't close, do you? You do? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a,
We've never had a discrimination complaint, and I guess if I don't discriminate, we shouldn't have any complaints,
Yeah.
so.
yeah, because you're the one in charge, everybody's gonna be against you, so.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
And that kind of brings up a question in my mind. When you are have to be away and unable to get home, is there a chain of command that this fall?
it pretty much falls onto, Sarah. She's the one with the largest title. Well, I guess no, administrative assistant, that's longer than business officer. Yeah.
More letters.
Yeah,
Well,
there's
but
more
we gave her
letters,
a different
so.
title today, so.
Yeah,
With a CFO.
CFO today, yes.
So she still wins.
He gave her that.
No, they
So
don't
no,
want anyone to be
and I-
Alexander
and I-
Haig and go, I'm
so
in charge.
far, yeah. I mean, and so far, I've never not been within
Yeah,
phone range. I mean, or for any length of time, I should say.
yeah.
And this
Right.
says respond, you can respond and say we're gonna extend it. It doesn't say you're gonna respond with an answer.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
it,
If they had already consulted with an attorney, and the attorney reads our policy, they may decide to throw a wrench in the works, like, submit it now. or in exactly 12 days or something. You know, it could happen.
Yeah.
It's kind of,
It's
Far-fetched,
much
but-
more likely to happen in a school
Yeah.
than it is in an ESD.
yeah. But, you know, if something maybe against Mike Benson, you know, Kathy Miles, you never know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Do we have, so this says we have to make notify everybody of the names and addresses and phone numbers of the person that you designate to contact on issues. And it says it will be on the website.
Where are you at?
I'm on the actual policy. I'm kind of comparing the policy to the AR.
Oh, okay, you're on the policy, okay, I'm not seeing you.
Yeah,
Where?
no, sorry.
Looking for
Okay.
It's, yeah, on the policies where it's highlighted.
Mhm.
And I think I talked to Taylor about the website because I couldn't find the hours, couldn't remember. And she told me we were updating the website.
I was working on it.
Yeah. So if we have this in policy that that's where you're gonna find that information, we probably, there wasn't a phone number. I could have emailed all of you, but I couldn't.
Office hours.
Yeah, I couldn't get the information I needed off of our website, and then, oh,
Okay.
no, on TV.
Phone number.
It's okay,
I'm sorry.
that's okay. Yeah, so what were you looking for? You're looking for the,
A phone
our
number.
contact information
yeah.
on there, okay?
Which might have been on there, but I don't think
So I
it
can't-
was.
I'll have to look.
I have to look, I can't
I
look
do
at
it
the
very
phone numbers.
limited on,
Yeah,
but I'll look.
and I can't remember why I needed to call. So I can't remember.
Yeah,
And probably our office hours.
That's what it was. I wanted to get the notebook to you,
Yep, that's what it was.
and
okay, yeah, we can do that, we can get those on there.
well, and I mean, it's not a big deal. It's just if we're gonna put that in our policy that it's on there, we ought to probably make sure it's on there.
Absolutely.
So, I think that, it is hard though, if something like this happens, if they're willing to file an official complaint in this arena, we want our ducks in a row.
Yeah,
That's a, because you're right, they probably have an attorney. So we're disregarding this light.
right,
light one.
right, that's my recommendation. We can look at some more and,
This is first reading.
this is the first reading, so we can look at it some more and make a decision, but.
For next month, do you guys want both copies again?
I don't think if we're gonna use this, we don't
No,
need it.
I-
Okay,
You
so
want to
just
look
do
at
our
that
current.
again.
Whatever we're going to adopt, yeah.
All right. GBDA.
Yeah, they do whatever they want.
Yeah. And no one's gonna say it.
No.
Excuse me?
No, sorry. Can we cut that off? Come on, we got, the phone's ringing. No, this is, I mean, we have a policy, and basically, I talked to
There's
staff.
nothing mother-friendly about having to express milk
Yes,
on the
that-
job,
Yeah,
so I can
yeah.
see why
It's kind
somebody
of a,
Yeah.
crossed that off.
Right, so what I did is, I talked to the staff earlier this week. I let them know that this front office in the corner up here, that doorknob is keyed to a separate key that nobody has a key to. And so the key is in the computer room. And so they can step in there, take the key, and they can go in there and lock it and have no fear of anybody being able to get into that door with their room key. And so I told them if any of them are interested in bringing in a Barco lounger or a couch or something, they're welcome to do it. But, you can close the curtains and that kind of stuff, or shades and stuff in there. So that's basically the only place, other than the shed out back, I don't know where else we could go that would be private. I mean, so, but that actually is nice. It's a nice room. And there's nothing wrong with it, so.
and that's pretty much everything we need, isn't it?
Yeah, they're welcome to,
Respirator, yeah.
they're welcome to use the refrigerator or freezer or whatever, one of our
Just put it on there and not.
One of
not
our
everywhere.
mail employees said, make sure you label it, so
Yeah.
I put it in my coffee.
I thought about that.
Yeah,
Do we need to pick which one, we're going to,
which one were?
expression of milk or breastfeeds in parentheses? Usually that means we
Oh.
have to pick one.
Oh, okay, I never even saw those those, yeah.
Or leave them both.
I think we have to leave them both.
I think you have to have them both,
There's a lot of people aren't gonna know what the heck
Yeah.
this expression of milk means.
yeah. What I think we should do
I mean,
is,
really, unless you've done it, you don't know what that means. You're
Yeah.
supposed to talk about how you feel about
Yeah.
milk.
I really think so.
Well, and there's two
I think they're two
things,
different
actually.
things.
One
So,
is
yeah.
that, one
Is that
does
the
baby,
pumping?
one doesn't.
Yeah,
Yes.
I would suggest that we, just put a slash between them,
Yeah.
leave them both.
Okay,
Yeah,
and take
yeah.
the
Take
parentheses
the
out.
Yeah.
parentheses
Yeah.
out and put a slash.
Somebody brings the baby by at break time and you want to nurse it?
Yep,
You
Perfect.
can nurse it.
welcome to it, go ahead. Okay,
Okay.
and,
It's nice. We have, the state has put one of, there's right
Do we want to,
state of Oregon.
I don't know what there's
oh,
reason.
in that new
I
section they
said, if
built?
anybody here, as it is right now, needs to be using the lactation room, I think we're calling it, it's gonna be a medical miracle.
I didn't hear all that, I'm glad.
It's a good work session.
I'm glad you're doing the chair. Jim.
Anyway,
You're doing it.
on this one, do we want to say this at the end and just vote on it? Because I don't know, we need to read this when we get to it. Or do you want to just do a second reading on it?
Wherever you want.
Let's vote on that one and get it out of the way, because we might have a lady having the baby tonight that needs that.
Well, that's true, you get a point. That's true,
Very true.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, the next one, okay.
So that one, so we'll put that into.
We'll need a
um,
section 5.
We'll need a section 5 for
Okay.
action items. And that is G, B, C, A. Okay. All right, criminal records check and fingerprinting, this is all stuff that we pretty much do. How come my wheels and
Is it
maze didn't get marked on here?
Your what?
My wheels and maze didn't get marked.
and this is really a mess. Did we get this like this from the
Yes.
SBA? It's,
Yeah.
and then the AR is even
That baby
worse.
green,
So we're gonna blame it on.
okay.
By the way, the school districts pretty much have to follow this same, you
Mhm.
see?
Yeah.
Boy, the one where, what, number 4, for volunteers,
Mm-hmm.
taking students to,
Oh, yeah.
I guess, athletic event. Gotta have, you take your neighbor kids who's friends with your son or daughter and criminal background check on them. God, they nail Adele.
Yeah, none of us would pass.
Well, seriously, really,
Because-
we'd have events on Friday and was in Plush or Paisley.
All fall and all sports season, these kids are riding with these parents.
Yes.
They're going to a school thing,
Yeah,
I mean, it's just what they do,
yeah,
what everybody does.
yeah.
Is that a problem?
It would be less of an issue with the ESD, but I imagine it's the same way with, say, Lakeview High School. Where a parent drives and you take,
Yeah, and you take another kid with you,
And
or
so
pick
what's
one
that
up from a
problem
ball
then?
game and bring it home with you.
Well,
Just-
if it's a school-sponsored event,
Uh-huh.
you have to have been background checked before you can take other people's kids in your car.
Do they consider like,
Really?
from Adele
Oh,
going,
no.
You can't have a parents now?
Can a parent say? go
used to be a
with
parent could do
If
it.
it's a school-sponsored
that? And what would
activity,
that be an example of?
that's just,
Okay, so
A dance?
it's not when you're carpooling. It's when it's the school-sponsored event and the person that's driving is the official volunteer.
Okay.
right,
In their capacity as the volunteer, they're driving the kids.
Okay.
but
Yeah.
not necessarily a parent who's taking, high
So would it
school.
be like the football coach transports kids to practice, that kind of?
Football
Or a
coach
volunteer,
prize checked out.
Yeah.
volunteer coach.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
yeah,
That
that
makes
person would
sense.
definitely have to be
But if,
background check.
if it's,
Okay.
we're all gonna meet here and the kids jump in.
Or I don't wanna pick
And
you up.
Mr. Wilson will
the-
be taking the, this minibus.
And most of the time, the schools, they really frown on that. We don't do that much at all. I mean, we'll take an activity bus
Yeah.
or something of that nature. It's a school-sponsored event. They
Right.
don't have a bunch of parents driving somewhere.
Yeah.
Because every time you add another car, there's that much more potential for an accident.
Well, when you have a
Right.
car, I know it might be just ADL's policy, but you got proof of insurance.
Right.
That you've got enough insurance to cover
Do you have to do a breathalyzer and Adele before you hit the?
all the cars are hooked up.
Most of the cars there have one anyway.
Yeah.
It's mandated by
You're
the
already
state.
out of ankle bracelets.
Yeah.
So
You apply for a driver's license, your address is Motor Valley, they just put one in your car.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's the same way in North Lake Paisley, maybe a little more formalized here.
Because what was that, the activity where Lakeview has the activity of the football, the 7th, 8th grade football and basketball, and then the parents are bringing the ADL kids in. And they're leaving during school time, like at 2:30 or right before school gets
Right,
out. How does that, is that a school activity or is that
Well, I would say yes, but what you're mainly looking at with the criminal record stuff is when a person is by themselves with a student. So when you're in a car with 6 kids, you wanna make sure the person's not, a pedophile or something of that
Yeah.
nature. But the fact that they're not by themselves with the kids, that's where the main issue you run into. But yeah, I mean, if parents want to volunteer for something, they need to have a background check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know. This.
Well, and like in the ADL, I know they're not volunteering to anything except they're taking their own kid and
Yeah,
3 other kids
parent
jump in
B
the car.
says, can my kid ride with you? Sure.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
And they
right.
don't wanna,
The school's not
stop
going,
at
they're taking.
Safeway on the way home, and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, so. Yeah, but, no, Stephanie's clarification helped a lot. That-
Yeah,
that-
I'm pretty sure it's the, official chaperone versus parent helping. It did get a little muddy though, when we lost funding for middle school sports.
We just.
So we were
make copies of
doing the
this.
Y teams,
Yeah, just.
and all of our games
Let's
were in
save-
Klamath
hold on,
Falls.
time.
Do you want me to do
I
it
mean,
for
there
the
was
AR
generally
as well?
one parent,
They change
maybe
it.
2, coach, driving, and, yeah, we were all, everybody was mixed.
Have they got that criminal check thing under control where it's not so backlogged anymore?
Yeah, they do.
They got caught up
It's better, yeah.
better.
They went to a digital fingerprinting system.
Yes,
Oh.
this,
Yeah.
with all the errors, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
much easier now.
Mhm. Well, especially when you have to do it so many times as, you and I have.
No, it's just, it's better to have somebody have a check than not have it if you're thinking.
Yeah,
Right.
and
Yeah.
say, why didn't we?
Yeah.
Most people understand that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, and I circled number 1, but I think maybe I was reading it incorrect. Any individual newly hired employee. So I did wonder why it didn't just say any newly hired employee. No,
I was also a little unclear as to whether the employee has to pay for it.
yeah, I mean, both of these were very, I was.
Well, how about, they could either take out, just show it, why doesn't it say any newly hired
Right.
employee and take out
Yeah,
individual?
we,
Any employee
Taylor's-
is an individual.
I marked both of these up, this and the AR. I marked them up already. Taylor's making copies of mine. Because this is what was given to us. She neglected to,
Correct.
baby brain, neglected to give me the,
Well,
Yeah,
that's
didn't-
kind of discriminatory.
I didn't see it here, it might have been in
Maybe it's
here,
on that list.
but
Maybe
I
she's-
don't,
Baby break thing is just.
I don't
Well,
think
maybe
that-
she's just not very bright, maybe it has nothing to do with being bright.
I don't think the policy.
you go there, lady. I'm not touching that one.
Well, I
I'm sorry, John.
Janet, we better just table this for a
Yes.
second reading.
Did the policy say that a teacher or somebody could teach while they're awaiting results?
No, because teachers, in order to teach, you have to be licensed by TSBC, and in order to get a license through TSBC, you have to be fingerprinted, background check.
I see.
So the teachers are not an issue.
What happens if District 7 decides to hire somebody 4 days before the start of school? And I'm sure this happens.
Well, what we've done in the past is they could go to work, they just couldn't be alone with kids until the criminal check came
And I
in.
think that's what our policy
Right.
says.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But this
Yeah.
doesn't mention that.
Yeah, it's,
Can-
wait till we get the other thing.
Yeah,
Well, and
can
the-
can
yeah.
our policy
Yeah, it's in the
technically
AR.
override?
It says any volunteer, in this case, volunteer allowed by the ESD into a position has, that has direct unsupervised contact with students, shall be required, let's see, well, that's not.
so undergo that.
Well, and the other thing that makes it really difficult to read and make sense is that they changed it to subject individuals.
Thank you.
Subject individuals and requirements are further outlined. Well, subject individual, I mean, why not just say employees,
I mean-
teachers, volunteer, subject individuals.
Well, because we would do background checks on, if you had, for some reason, you had a contractor in the
Right,
building.
That would be
That had
subject.
the potential to
Correct.
be alone with kids,
correct,
you'd wanna,
right,
that would be a subject individual.
yes. It's just in adding that language to the policy makes it read horribly.
I don't
But,
disagree,
okay.
but, yeah.
Does the employee pay for background check?
Not today, Dale,
This is
no,
the-
I know, okay, no, we pay for all
Policy.
fingerprinting and all that.
You guys have the AR in your hand.
That's good.
Oh. Need a policy too.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is my marked up one.
I know we've discussed all this before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna, you guys haven't had a chance to look at all my markings, so I think we just table this till
Yeah.
the second reading.
Second reading.
Now you guys have a chance to go through this, but the one we just gave you with all my my pen marks on there, that's the one.
That's instead of this.
Right, yeah.
So we can
you
leave
just
this.
leave those, get rid of those and,
Okay.
yeah.
Jack, when you go to COSA meetings or something, do all the other districts sit around and discuss this like we do?
Yep.
They do.
Yep.
It's,
When my first admin position, I had a way overzealous superintendent. And he said, we need to go through all these policies. And we went through, it took us 1.5 years. And we went through every single policy in the policy book. It was insane. But yes, every district, everybody does the same thing. They all
Well,
go through the policies.
you would think that OSBA, when they write the model policies, would try and foresee all the issues and have everything crystal clear
Well,
as possible.
Again, it comes back to local control.
Right.
I mean, they want to be able to, I've been in a district where I've had OSBA call me after my board got done doing this to a policy, and called me and said, yeah, you can't do that. This is a required policy and these are required statements. You can't lock these out. Or they have taken things out or that kind of stuff, or changed the wording.
And they go back and look at it after you do that to make sure.
Oh, they do, yeah. So if you remove something you should remove, so.
Yeah. We just went over this
Yeah.
one in January.
And there's already that many
Yeah.
changes.
Yeah. All right.
Gotta love it.
Fun stuff.
Need to approve the agenda.
Need a motion?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we approve the
Second.
agenda.
With the added 5.
Yeah, we added
Yes.
5 for an action item. Okay, we have a motion
A second.
and a second to approve the agenda with the added number 5 item. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. And then we need to approve the minutes for 6/12 and 7/01.
I move that we approve the votes.
In a second?
I'll second.
A second, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Board reports?
I don't have anything.
Nope, nobody's saying anything because they have not been paying attention all summer. I mean, they're all, they've been working on getting things cleaned up and put back together for school to start. And financial report.
Well, it's August, so it's pretty early to be talking about too much in terms of projections and whatnot. So instead, I'll just comment that the North Lake bond is going right along. They hired a project manager up there, and he seems very well put together. I've heard that he comes in with a list of, we've got to do this, 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 and this, and we need to do it before then. So they've got a really good project manager on board, and looking forward to those projects. Also, the fiber optic line between here and Flush and Adel is still in the permitting process, but they are optimistic that it's still on track for.
Well, yeah, because I think so, because they've been doing surveying up and down between Flush and Adel, and I see them along the highway to
See the little
town.
orange,
Yeah.
orange stakes alongside the highway?
Yeah,
Right.
and the Hunter communication trucks driving around with people,
Yeah, they're
So they've
busting their
definitely
guns
been-
on it.
putting a lot into it. They must think it's gonna go.
Well, I think last year was a little bit of a scare, because we had to do a lot of scrambling to
Yeah.
get the deadline extended. But with permitting, it's more like through BLM and the US Forest Service and those kinds of property usages and whatnot. But at this point, they're optimistic.
Yeah.
Sarah, did the issue with ODE that affected our Indian fund balance, did that get?
It
cleared
did
up?
get cleared up. We got a very serious phone call from them apologizing, and they, it was kind of too bad because they had to get money back from the other ESDs because, it was a drop in the bucket for the big ESDs, but it was a lot of money for us, and so they did in June,
Good.
yeah.
Good.
Well, it's only August, but I see that we've spent 84% of our
Yeah.
technology.
Yeah. That would be worrisome, except for the system is fabulous in that it does encumbrances.
Yeah.
So we put in our monthly bills all 12 months for our internet, and it encumbers it and tells us that we automatically have spent 84%, and so we've got a little bit of breathing room.
Keeps
Same
it
with
from
salaries and
spending it
payroll.
somewhere else.
It encumbers
Okay.
that. Makes you,
Well, I was just kind of teasing you,
well, yeah, but it is.
but that would explain those high
Yeah.
numbers.
I really like that feature of the system, actually, that you can look at out over the 12 months and know that your monthly bills are good to go.
I think it would, yeah.
And your payroll, yeah.
All right, anything else?
No, that's it.
Superintendent's report.
Okay, Taylor was gracious enough to put it in hot pink.
Some spice, right?
I'm like, really? I gotta look at this and try to read it, so.
I'll tone it down next.
Yeah.
No, this is all.
I do lime green.
Fluorescent line. So, you guys have had a chance to read this and stuff, but some of the new things, we've got Tiffany Roberts in. She seems to be hitting the ground running, and she's gonna be, I think, gonna be really good. And Kylie Dozier, and she is Dozier, so it's kind of an SH in there. She goes, yeah, I know. She goes, I had to learn how to say it too. So she started on, and she seems to be doing real well. Mike's real pleased so far, so that's good. Just want to let the board know, I'd like to take the week of September 2nd. So there's, well, actually only 3 days. District 7's only in session 3 days that week. and go elk hunting like I did last year, if that's okay with the board, so.
You just have to barbecue some steaks.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, well, you know, if I have something that I can barbecue, I
As
will.
long as there's some success involved in that,
Yeah, I
you
will.
share.
I would love to. Update on the babies in the office, well, you saw two tonight.
Yeah.
And Brianna went home today, she wasn't feeling good, and she kind of said that felt like she was having some contractions, so hoping maybe she will have her baby tonight, so we'll see. The Student Success Act is, it's just in the process, we're starting to get information on it. And funding for us will not be coming around until probably April of 2020. And one of the things that they are doing is the Educator Regional Network, REN, or Regional Educator Network. They've created this position, and ESDs have broke the state into regional areas. And so for our region, we're based out of Malheur, and we're Malheur, us, Grant, ESD, and Wallowa. So anyway, kind of a grouping over here on the east side. It does not include
Have Burns or Harney County?
yeah, ours is, Grant County, Harney, Lake, Malheur, and Wallowa. So those are the ones that are included in our area network.
Baker in there?
Nope. Well, Baker City, no, they're with
Then Wallowa is actually like an island.
Island out, yes. The thing about it is Wallowa, there's, you've got a sheet in there that kind of shows you the map. What is the name of that ESD?
Intermountain.
Intermountain, thank you. The Intermountain ESD, there is some remaining bad blood between some of the ESDs from, you remember, John, from way back when. And so Wallowa and Grant are the two ESDs that are not part of OA ESD, but they agreed to be part of this regional network, provided, specifically stated, as long as Intermountain ESD is not part of our group. So, that bad blood's still there, but whatever, okay. But it's interesting, this Regional Educator Network, that's part of the Student Success Act money that's not supposed to come till 2020. Well, the funding it's still unsure on whether this funding paying out to hire this person, whether that payout will be allowed to be back billed or paid back to the ESDs. And so I told Sarah that I told them that we weren't willing to be that fiscal agent and be the leader of this thing. Because right now I've met with this person already. They don't know what they're doing. They've been hired. They don't know what they're doing. And the ESD that's hired them doesn't know if they're gonna get paid or not. And I told Sarah, I says, I just really kind of had this gut feeling that she would not agree to me hiring somebody with funding that I wasn't sure we were going to get, and I don't know what the person's actually going to do.
Right.
So I just got a bad feeling that Sarah wouldn't accept that, so I let somebody else take it over.
She's not very
Oh,
open.
picky,
to you,
picky.
She's not- yeah, well, you know, I blame it on her.
Well, is
but
this
this-
going to be, is like the headquarters for our consortium going to be Malheur ESD?
Yes, yeah, they're the ones that are heading it up.
Okay.
But you can see in the little map there that there's different areas there. We're huge, geographically we're huge,
Right.
we don't have very many people. But this whole regional area network thing, we're not quite sure what it's actually gonna do. But this is some of the funding we're gonna get from this Student Success Act monies. And it's gonna be, there's gonna be some professional development in there, there possibly may be some mentoring in it. Exactly what it's gonna do, I'm still reading and I have not got yet. We've got a meeting in, when is that? No. When is our OSBA meeting?
October, isn't it?
October, is it 21st, I think it is?
16th.
16th?
Yeah.
Okay, 16th. And that, we're gonna hopefully have some answers there on some
Where
of
are
this.
they, where are they having that?
Up in Paisley, that's the dinner meeting in
Oh,
Paisley.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I have lots of information, but I don't understand most of it, and most of it is still very vague. The instruction sheets that they're putting out still are saying, here's our first draft, don't do anything with it yet, but we're letting you look at it.
That sounds kind of crazy.
They're building the car as they're driving down the road, which is not uncommon for ODE.
I would love to know, you know, what they're
We're
trying
trying to do something and they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
think
I'm not sure you can blame ODE. It was
They're
the
trying to
case they
decipher the-
passed a law, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure there was any discussion with ODE
How to do it.
on it. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, they're not sure what to do with it either. So,
Well, I hate to say it, but that's a little bit the sense I got from that other new thing. What was the email, the registered Colt, what's it, there it is. Colt Gill.
yeah. Yeah, his email, yeah, that was my perfect
I thought,
example.
oh,
I want you guys to be able to
okay.
read that and say, this is the kind of instructions that we're given, and I'm supposed to decipher this. So I'm just sitting back,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna touch this, I'm sitting back waiting for this to
Okay,
come
wait and
through. Wait and see, because I don't need to be a gladiator and be out there in the front row on this one, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'd be frustrating.
yeah,
It'd be one thing if it was something you guys, the superintendents came up with.
Yeah, no,
Said,
this
this
is-
is the direction we wanna go, and they said, okay, here's,
right. Well, and the REN is something the districts, the ESDs came up with as a way to say, this is, if we get some funding, this is something we're planning on doing. But the defining part of what the regional area network is, the
Okay.
regional education network is, hasn't been defined yet.
and this is different than didn't we sign something saying we agreed to be part of, what was that?
That was the official that we are part of the OAESD.
Yes.
That's what it is, that we are an official organization, and that kind of stuff.
Okay. But that's different than,
That's different than this, yes.
okay.
This is breaking us into smaller pieces.
Bureaucracy.
Yeah.
I can't, I'm sitting back waiting for it to see what happens.
Yeah.
It is, it's very
We got some
bureaucratic.
grants coming from, where is this?
Right.
Yeah,
I love
no,
this
it's very
Yeah.
frustrating. I read at my desk a lot, trying to figure out what some
And
of
you
this is.
just have to
and
wonder
just-
how much of the money goes towards
Right.
that top piece of trying to figure out what are we gonna do and who's gonna do it, and
Right,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The next one is
the 1049.
yeah, if they would fix that, you
Yeah.
really wouldn't have to do all the other stuff because you'd have enough money to fund the needs and then.
Yeah. Well, I read today, was it in the thing today? $1.6 billion is gonna be returned to everybody for the state income tax
Kicker.
kicker.
Yeah.
So
Oh, wow.
1.6 billion. And I thought, man, just 1 year and take that money and put it into the PERS thing,
Right?
I mean, would pretty much wipe it out. Yeah.
I think
but-
it's in the Constitution now.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
they can't do anything with that money,
Yeah.
even though Cape
It's a
Town
lot,
tried to.
1.6 billion?
Billion, yeah.
That is a lot.
Yeah, our economy is really good right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing really well as far as the state, so.
Yeah.
But you know what? I look on the other side and I'm like, hey, I'm happy to get that money back. So, I mean, I could figure out another use for it, but there are a lot of people in Oregon that are happy to get it back, so.
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, that 1049, Senate Bill 1049, that's gonna be challenged, which we knew was gonna happen. But, so, yeah, I included in your packet here the continuous improvement plan, information and stuff, so we can talk about that. I think I've got it down in my discussion here. And then Leanne, from our mentor program, she resigned as of August 22nd. We've posted the position and it's in the paper next couple of weeks. Kathy Miles, yay, she has come back on and being our interim until we get somebody hired on, and then she's gonna stay on a little bit just to help train them, get them up to speed. So we're very pleased about that. So Kathy is Kathy. She hit the ground running and she hasn't slowed down. So,
She started it.
yeah, it's her baby, you can tell.
Yeah. Is that gonna be a very hard position to fill then?
Well,
Yeah.
we've had one applicant,
We've got two.
two, okay. So we'll
Took
see.
us a while to
haven't
get
got-
Leanne, didn't it? I mean,
Huh?
it took us a while to get Leanne.
Yeah, Kathy wanted to be done for, I think, a couple of years before
Yeah.
she found someone she was
Yeah.
comfortable.
Did she move back to Nevada?
No, she, it was just a personal choice, I mean, of her lifestyle and what she's doing and stuff, and what she's got going on in her life. This position was more than she was
Yeah.
willing to put forth. I mean, it's like, she has other things in her world that
Yeah.
are equally important, and so something had to give.
Yeah.
So she
Well, that's
resigned,
good.
so.
Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that.
Yeah, it was on positive terms, there was nothing negative about it or anything else, it was, so.
It's a huge job. What does it pay?
I think it's like 22 an hour, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Part-time though, right?
I think they're gonna decide that tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We have a board meeting
I mean, it
tomorrow.
was posted at full-time, but.
Yeah, it's what they're looking at doing is a full-time position. But the full-time position is, and we didn't want to put all this wording in the paper. But the full-time position, there is about half of it that is at the director rate, which is the $22 an hour. And then there's a half of it that's at a coordinator position, and that's at 17 and whatever,
Almost
plus or minus,
18, but
almost
yeah.
18 hours an hour at that rate. And so, you know, that kind of stuff we'll explain at the interview and that kind of stuff, and with them, so they understand where we're at. So we've got a board meeting tomorrow to hammer out exactly what the percentages is we want to make it at and stuff. But,
What are the qualifications? I, just for myself, not that I'm interested. I mean,
We, obviously, you know, high school graduation,
yeah,
that kind of thing. We like to have a degree that's, you know, preferred.
yeah,
We'd like
But
to
it
have,
doesn't have to be a
somebody
certain
with
degree.
experience in grant writing.
yeah.
We'd like to have somebody with, that has experience fundraising, talking with, you know, with businesses, those kinds of things. And then somebody who's had some experience organizing activities with kids, or some type of functioning with kids that they can come in and do that kind of stuff. So it's pretty,
That's not just everybody.
no, it's just because you can ride a horse doesn't mean you're
Yeah.
gonna, you can
I mean,
apply,
that's
but
just to get somebody who wants to do it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a,
it's a big job. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a tall,
Yeah.
tall order,
Yeah, that's why I
So-
went there.
yeah. Hoping Stephanie was gonna apply, but
yeah, there you go. That was a vicious laugh.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I love fundraising.
So that's my report.
Thank you, Ben.
I hate fundraising.
And then we'll move on to 4.1. That's the OSBA Fall Regional Meeting.
Yep.
I'll get going and spend it.
So ours is October 16th,
Yes.
6 PM. So we'll probably carpool from here, and we'll be providing dinner. What?
Carpool might be an issue because we
Because our
have
carpool
a-
driver's not here.
No, unless you're talking about
Call
them,
Vicky.
because we are having a meeting prior to that meeting. We're doing our admin meeting.
Oh.
I didn't know if
okay.
that's what your meeting seemed
Well,
right with
no,
us.
well, you and I'll drive up because we'll have all the food and all that kind of stuff.
But they can coordinate.
You're not having the baby before October 16th, are you?
Hope not.
Okay, good. So yeah, we'll probably drive up, but you guys, if you want to carpool together, we can.
I mean,
Taylor
I
can
got
figure
you
out who's
now.
coming and that kind of stuff, so.
Could make Vicky go just to drive it.
I was gonna
I know.
say, can she be?
For old time's sake,
Should
Vicki,
be
don't you
hired.
want to go to Paisley?
Yeah.
We'll pay reminders. OSB annual convention, November 14th through 17th. I didn't know if anybody was interested in going. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday convention, which I don't understand why they do that, but, not hearing any, I'll move on.
Yeah, I've never gone to that one.
Isn't this the one that Clayton says they have the, or?
Yeah, right close to the river or something.
Yeah, it's a good conference,
Maybe
it's
Cliff will
OSBA
go.
conference, it's a good conference, I mean,
When
it's,
do we have to know?
when did it's in my calendar, October, or see, I think it's the 1st of October is when the hotel opens up, and we have to call on that day, like 8:15 in the morning, you gotta call, or 8 o'clock, in order to get a hotel room there.
Taylor, if you don't mind putting your notes to jog my memory a few days before that deadline.
And this is for the annual convention?
Yeah,
So September 9th.
okay, yeah.
Oh, open,
Oh,
you're good.
Sometimes I'm on it.
Yeah.
Is this the one where they
You're
have the ESD meeting one day before? Or is that in the summer?
No, that's the one that Jim and I go to.
That's actually ESD.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
ESD one.
Seems like there was one of these where they dedicated,
I haven't seen the agenda, so there very well may be. I haven't seen it yet. So,
I've been to one in July. I've never been to
Yeah.
one in November.
but it's a good conference. I like going. They usually have pretty good food and stuff.
Accommodations would be nice.
They are very, well, it's a Marriott, it's downtown, so you don't really go out downtown too much around Portland because you don't want to get in the middle of a riot.
I was just gonna say, Antigua might close it down.
Yeah. Don't laugh. I was there when they were doing flash bombs and or whatever, 2 streets over from the hotel. And they were having a riot and they were just like,
My brother-in-law has an office downtown and his assistant called and somebody was in the doorway and he just said, just don't even go to work, don't.
yeah,
I don't know how you help an employee
yeah.
with that, it was that day, that big day. Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was all.
okay. 4.3.
Okay, and that's the Eastern Oregon Regional Network information. It's just easier for you guys just to read that than me trying to explain it. And again, it's still very much up in the air. In fact, I have a phone call, she called me, Jennifer called me today, I was in another meeting. I don't know what it's about, but she's still trying to meet with the superintendents and get to know people, so, yeah.
Is this going on throughout all of Oregon?
If you look on the front side of that page,
Uh-huh.
you see the little map?
Oh, I see,
See where it's
okay.
broken in, each one of those little colors is a different regional network.
Where did I have that? Does somebody have an extra?
And again, it's
Can I
not
just look
real
at that? You
clear.
can just have it.
Not real clear exactly what they're gonna do.
Nope. It says, what is the regional area network, and it has an explanation there. It says, the goal is that these networks will work cooperatively to solve systemic issues along the educator advancement continuum by leveraging regional capacity, expertise, and
Somebody got
resources.
out there to us.
Yes.
Just
How's
to
that?
kind of
How's
come
that
up
for
with
clear?
something.
If that's not clear as mud. I mean, I read that. I read it 3 times,
Yeah.
3 or 4 times. I'm just like,
It says nothing.
well, what? It doesn't. It says nothing. Yeah,
It really does.
What can we do until
right.
something means something?
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
I thought, get a master teacher that's known for being excellent in some category and have them go around and serve as teachers, but
Yeah.
doesn't
Well, it's,
exactly.
I think what it is they're all doing the same concept. Okay, this is the concept. But every ESD regional network will be different because our needs might be different than what Multnomah County's needs are, which might be totally different than what Douglas County's needs are. So it's I think that each one of these is gonna be tailored to their area.
Well,
So,
our particular consortium has a number of very small schools.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from one teacher to up to what, 4?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a different ballgame than
Yeah,
Multnomah or Clackamas.
yeah, absolutely.
So do we need to nominate you to be on the board?
Please don't.
You can do
And
that.
this is something else that I stood back and listened to him present this the other day. They're having a is that what it said? 17-member board. That's what I said. I said 17, I said, how are you gonna come to a consensus on anything? You gotta be kidding me. So, I don't know,
It's a lot of
But
money.
it'll
Yeah.
be Malheur County that's kind of in charge of
right, they've hired the person, they're gonna be the one organizing it all and stuff, but they're looking to get teachers, administrators, there's, early learning instructors, post-secondary instructors,
Community partners.
community partners, philanthropy partner, tribal member, school board member, and ESD educator. So all of these different people are all supposed to be part of this board to do whatever it is they're doing.
And who's Jennifer? How did she get?
She is the regional area network
So was she
coordinator.
recently hired?
She was
to
just
take
recently
this up?
hired,
What did she
yep.
do before then?
Oh, my goodness. I don't know that I even know. I met and had lunch with them, so.
It's like, who
But-
would want to take this on?
You know, they don't even know what you're supposed to be doing.
No, she's building the cart as she's riding down the hill,
So,
so.
but who hired her?
The Malheur ESD.
'Cause
So they laid out the initial funds, they hired the person with not knowing how they're gonna get paid back for it, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, their funding is.
Which is interesting because this kind of talks like it's not necessarily, it's replacing a program, so it's not new. It was approved,
Mhm.
and they give us figures. I don't know, let's see.
Well, and it says the Eastern Oregon Wren expects to receive $450,000 for
Oh.
capacity development.
What does that mean?
Expects to-
Capacity development.
I don't know, that's what I'm saying. I read through this, this is the stuff I'm dealing with. I'm just beating my head against the wall.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Shoot,
I,
maybe we should have done it,
No
450, we could
kidding.
have shared it.
Yeah, no kidding.
yes, split that in half and call it good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they expect to receive it.
How much is she being paid?
I know. Well, maybe she's
I
developing
don't know.
capacity for $450,000.
Maybe so.
Yeah, I don't know.
Gosh. That's just, what a waste of money.
But nominations,
Well, it depends, I mean, if she's able to do a really lot
I
of
don't-
great things and stuff, that's fantastic, but we don't know what she's doing yet, so.
And how do you know if it's a great thing if you're not sure what we're doing?
Right.
do you think we should try to get somebody from Lake County on that board though?
I think we probably will eventually, yes. Yes, I will definitely want somebody from Lake County, if not two people.
So
At
she's
least
saying, is there accepting nominations?
Yeah, yeah, so I'm sure that's what her conversation was.
Like accepting nominations, like she's gonna say, no, you can't be on.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know, we gotta
I
go
don't like
through the criminal background check. Make sure.
It just seems so, it's like the emperor's new
4.4.
clothes. I mean, just how silly you think people are.
I'm with you, 100%. So,
Okay.
Okay.
all right.
That up your chest.
4.4, continuous improvement plan. So I sent you the email that I got from Coalfield, and this has got all the information in it, and if you read through
Another
this,
Lulu, my
I
gosh.
would, I just,
Lulu wanted us.
just read through this thing, and this is what
I don't
I'm,
have
right
that
now,
either, for some reason.
you don't have that?
I brought I opened my bag and brought it directly from home. So, unless it's in here and I just get.
Yeah, it's hard to find. It is.
Yeah.
No, it's probably just me not.
No, I don't think so. I'm not saying.
You're gonna
you
get
should.
blamed for a lot of stuff, I think.
It's probably all factual
It's
things.
the baby's
Well,
fault.
we don't do this.
What's that?
Continuous improvement plan.
As far as I can tell right now,
Okay, here
the
it is.
ESD, no.
It's a historic opportunity.
Yes.
But you'll have to do it for
Same with
So,
water.
ADEL.
definitely for ADEL and flush, probably after it assist and and I'll definitely assist the other districts, but, so,
But it's not real clear exactly.
no, this is very ambiguous, it even tells you at one point, it says, it says later this month, ODE will release an engagement toolkit that will provide districts and eligible charter schools with guidelines and tools to support authentic and inclusive engagement processes to inform their local needs assessment. So that's just to do the local needs assessment, which is you have to do before you can do the continuous improvement plan.
And these are required by districts, they have to do this.
Yes.
Don't they already do the improvement plan?
Oh, we did, yes,
Yeah.
but now that's gone and away, and
That was the
now we're
report
back to
that
this.
takes forever
This
to
is
do
something
and
new.
nobody reads it.
Right,
Yeah.
yes, this is something totally new. Or maybe it's not new, but it's a new format.
Is it
You
replacing
have to
that?
do this, like,
Yes,
Okay, well, that's.
yeah.
is it like a 3-year school improvement plan? Or instead
That's a
of,
good question. Don't know yet. Not sure.
this doesn't bode well. You know, there's just, all of this is,
This is a two-page email from the superintendent of public instruction. And it is somewhat difficult to understand.
Except he says that is why it is an executive numbered memo.
Yes, because it's important.
It's important.
Do you know this person?
ODE
Oh, yeah.
used to really be on top of stuff, and it just doesn't seem like
He's-
they are.
Kidding.
Yeah. No, he's a good guy. I mean, he's very intelligent man. Yeah, but I mean, he's dealing with basically he's having to deal with legislative stuff.
Sure.
They're trying to, filter out what the legislature wanted to have done. And so they're trying to make that
Shouldn't
happen.
they have to clear up what the hell they want done?
From the legislature?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah. Why don't you bring that up to the legislature? Let's see how that goes.
Yeah.
I could use an engagement toolkit.
Yeah. You could use that. I wanna know what's in it.
Me too.
You've got a Democratic-controlled legislature, and I'm sure that they received a lot of input from COSA, from various lobbying groups.
Oh, and OAESD and COSA are right all over this. They're part of the whole conversation. Yep.
And at this point, they don't have real clear answers either.
No.
Okay.
That's the problem. Our lobbyists, I think, do a great job. It's just, it falls on deaf ears. They don't listen to what the people on the ground say will work. Like, draft legislation that this guy can't even, I mean,
Well, it's taking them a while. I mean, what was the original date? It was July 1?
Was it really?
I think it was like July 1 was the original date we were supposed to have it done by.
Some districts may need more time
Yeah.
to complete high-quality
Well,
community
it
engagement
Didn't pass
as
that
compared to
early. I
half-assed
mean,
engagement.
that wasn't much time between the time that bill passed and,
Right, that's why they pushed it back. Yep.
well,
So,
let's hope something good comes.
once I get some better clarification and stuff, I'll be happy to, I'll give each of you a call and see if you want to come down and help work on it.
I just know those reports
I'm busy
are
that day.
so onerous.
Yeah.
Oh. And then nothing we can do about that one, so 4.5.
All right, 4.5, I printed this out for everybody.
There's a video.
This is, yeah. I've tried, I've fallen asleep 3 times trying to watch it. No, I'm kidding, I haven't looked at it yet.
Okay,
So
thank you.
I printed this out for everybody. This is 44 pages, I think it is, 41 pages, excuse me, of all the different things in the legislative that was passed and stuff. So it's an interesting read. Some of it affects us, some of it doesn't. So I'm not going to go through it. It's let's say it's 41 pages. But if you want to bring it back and talk about it later at a different time, and you and I can sit down, that's great. So. And that's all I've got. The fall kickoff barbecue is not gonna happen. Yeah,
Oh, we must have been invited.
yeah. No, it didn't happen. We didn't have
So we're not gonna
any.
have fall this year?
No, just not the barbecue. Yeah. We didn't have the barbecue this year. Hopefully I will have my floor in and my bathroom remodeled by next fall, and then I better, my wife will have my hide. And then we can have it at my place. So hopefully I'll have yard in and all that kind of good stuff.
All right, so we need to vote on item number 5, the
GBD.
GBDA.
I move we approve policy GBDA as presented with the brackets removed from the title. Put a slash
Yeah,
up
we
there.
put a slash.
Mhm.
Yep. Any other changes anybody wants to make? And need a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Okay.
Motion carries. Anything else? We get adjourned.
Good job,
Wow.
good job.
Yeah.